Up next is Temple and head coach Matt Rhule. The Owls are 9-2 overall, 6-1 in the American Athletic Conference. Temple was in action this past Saturday against Memphis, and Temple won the game 31-12. Up next for the Owls will be this Saturday against UConn at Lincoln Financial Field. That'll be a 7 p.m. Eastern Time start on ESPNU. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the call today. If you would take a minute to tie up the win against Memphis, please. And tell us what you expect to see to face UConn on Saturday.
Really proud of our team last Saturday. I thought it was a great team win. Really played well on defense. Ran the football well. I thought P.J. Walker was outstanding, and really our whole team made a lot of plays. And a lot of credit to Memphis. They're the defending champs. Coach Fuente does a great job, and I was just proud of our guys to be able to play a complete game, probably our best game of the year. We turn our attention now to a really good Connecticut team, a team that we talked in the locker room, would have a great chance against Houston. Their win is no surprise to us. They're tough. They play great defense. They run the football. They have playmakers, and they're extremely well coached. So it'll be a great matchup for us. We're expecting our most physical game of the year versus two tough teams, two Northeast teams in the cold on Saturday night, and we're excited about the opportunity to compete against them.
Take questions for Coach Rhule, please. *1 on your telephone to join the queue, then the operator will introduce you.
We'll take our first question from John DeCarlo with owlscoop.com.
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
Hey, John.
Hey, I was just wondering how Waquel Armstead was doing going into the game, and I know you say he was banged up and he didn't play this past Saturday, but just how he's doing, if you might have him, and just how the whole team's doing, just health-wise overall.
Well, we take Sunday off, so we haven't practiced yet Monday, so they get here later today. So I haven't seen those kids since the game, So we'll get into the week, and Raquel probably could have played last week. It was really my decision to kind of hold him out, and we'll see how he is over the next couple of days.
My follow-up question is about David Hood. Just that run that he had, breaking 3 tackles to get to the end zone. I know he's kind of, in terms of the backs that you have, he's probably the smallest of that group. But what did he show you there, and what from what he did against Memphis? How does he kind of figure in your plans moving forward in terms of the versatility that you guys might have and giving Jihad a few more carries off, because that was a big-time run for him, and it looks like he gave you guys a real spark there.
Yeah, we have confidence in all 4 running backs to play, and if Jihad's not, Jihad's earned the job as the starter. If he's not full speed, then the other guys will go in and play. And I thought, Jagger did a great job sort of being a little bit of a hammer for us, running through some tackles, setting the tone. David did a great job as the 3rd down back and then coming in and making some big runs. Jihad had the long run that got called back. And obviously Raquel didn't play, but we have confidence in all of them. And Hood just showed everybody what we've seen him do for a long time, which is that he's tough, he can run, he's got great balance, and he's physical.
There's one last quick question for you. Where has UConn grown the most from last season to where they are this season? When you watch some of them, where have they made the most growth as a program, as a team?
Probably everywhere. I think their offensive line's a year older, so they're running the football well. They've got great backs. The quarterback, Bryant's come in, and I know Tim Boyle played last week, but Bryant Sheriff has come in last week, and this whole year, and really given them another dimension. He's great with his feet. They've had threats outside. They continue to have them, Noel Thomas, all those guys. But, they played really good defense last year. They do it again this year. I just think offensively, they've added another weapon with a quarterback who can pull it down and run, and they've played everyone tough, and they definitely deserve to be a bowl team.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Sure.
We'll take our next question from Paul Doyle with the Hartford Courant.
Hi, Matt. I wanted to ask you about Tyler Medikevich and kind of the year he's had here. His tackle numbers are just pretty astounding. How do you kind of explain that? Is it just his motor? Because I'm sure teams really try to avoid him.
Yeah, I think he's just a great player. I think his motor is just a small part of it. He's just got it's a big part of it, but it's just one part of it, I should say. He's got a great motor, but he's got great instincts. He's just a great football player. The biggest compliment I can give to him is he's never missed a practice at Temple. In 4 years, to have all those tackles and play in all those games, He's never even missed a practice. And he's just a great, great, great player. And, it shows up in the tackles. It shows up in the way he does his business every day. Shows up in the classroom. He's just a special player. He'll go down as one of the greatest players ever to, come through here.
Has he even exceeded what you sort of projected from him, when you recruit him?
I just think that that's a good question. I'm trying to think back to what I thought. I just think he's, I think the best thing I can say is that he's just, people ask about how we've turned this thing around, and I would lay all the credit squarely at his feet. I mean, he's been, he and the other guys in his class have single-handedly taken our program from 2-10 to 9-2, and that's Tyler and the rest of his peers. I mean, I don't know that anyone would have thought that that they would have been able to do what they've been able to do.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
Sure.
We'll take our next question from Mark Narducci with the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Matt, you alluded to the quarterback situation at UConn. First of all, how tough will it be to prepare for two quarterbacks this week? I know you had to do it against East Carolina, but will that add a level of difficulty for you?
Yeah, I think it always does. Luckily for us, we rely just sort of on our defense. We play what we play. But, they are two different styles of quarterback. We had a chance to play against Tim last year. We haven't played against Bryant yet. But, one thing we try to do is just focus on us and concentrate on us. And so whoever's in there, we'll just try to play really good, sound defense and hope to play as well as we can.
Thank you.
Sure.
We'll take our next question from Dave Matter with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Seems like every coach in the conference is being mentioned for other jobs. One, what does that say for the league and the season that the teams in this league have put together? And two, just how do you balance other schools maybe being interested in you and preparing your team for these big games down the stretch?
Well, I think the first thing, and I'm glad you asked the first part of that question. We were talking today in here, and I have a defensive coordinator, Phil Snow, who's been coaching for 100 years, and we made this comment. I think every head coach in this league has done a great job with their team this year, and everyone has maximized their talent. Everyone has played at a high level. Teams that maybe haven't won as much as they want. What Chad Morris has done at SMU is really, really impressive. What Coach Diaco has done. Hopefully, what I've done. I think all the coaches in this league have really done a really good job with their teams. And there's no team that each week you say, boy, you know what? I hope we get to play them. I mean, everyone kind of gives you a fight. Even UCF, who I know has struggled, they were beating us in the fourth quarter, so they maximized what they had that day. So I think there's a lot of really good coaches in this league, and there's a lot of veteran coaches that us younger coaches can learn from and be mentored by. And then for me, I just control what I can control, and then I try to be as honest as I can. Well, I try to be honest with my players. If they ask me something, I give them the answer, and when things come along, I try to be upfront and direct so that guys understand, hey, I'm not, that's not true, this is true. So I think as long as you're honest and upfront and control what you can control, then you can wake up every day and feel good about that day.
Thanks, Matt.
Yes, sir.
We'll take our next question from Zach Geld with Whip Radio.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good, bro. What's up?
Nothing much. Your tight ends, they played a big part blocking this year. They get in the end zone, two of them this past week. What did you see out of the tight end position on Saturday?
Well, that's a great question. I thought Colin Thompson led the way by playing. He basically played really banged up, and that there's no bigger play than that seam route he caught down the middle, and really tried to set the tone with the way he finished the play. I'm really proud of Colin. Just a big time play. I think Sal Major has been the guy that's been willing to do all the dirty work all year, and for him to pay off with him getting the touchdown, and I thought that was really a fitting end to that. And then Kip Patton, that's been, we talk a lot about Kip, and he's got two veteran guys to learn from, and Kip's 19 years old. I mean, he sees Sal every day, he sees Colin every day. They've taken him under their wing, and I think you see Kip's maturation. We're in 2 years. I mean, what will Kip be? He'll be unbelievable. So that's a room that's really come through for us and played at a high level for us, and lets us be really multiple with our offense.
And after the game, you talked briefly about Sal Major's story, and you said, though, there's probably not too many better stories in college football. Can you just elaborate on his story a bit?
Yeah, just, here's a guy from North Philadelphia who comes out of high school and he goes to Clark Atlanta and they have a coaching change and things aren't what they're supposed to be, so he transfers back to Temple and decides to walk on and he comes here and he has to sit out a year and he plays for us a little bit last year and he's a walk on, he's paying his own way, he gets his degree in economics. I mean, he graduates, he does everything right and he's living at home because he's paying his own way, can't live in the dorms, can't get an apartment, but all the time never makes excuses, gets bigger, gets stronger, and we were going to put him on scholarship for this year, and the NCAA said he didn't have another year, and so he was going to go to Division II. We kind of moved on without him throughout the end of the summer, and we're trying to help him, and the NCAA came in and did the right thing, and I respect what they did. They gave him another year, but we didn't have a scholarship, and so we said, hey, you can go somewhere else where we can get you a scholarship, or you can stay here, and he chose to stay here. He chose to finish this thing. He chose to play with his teammates, and all he's done is done the dirty work, Zach. He's always done the hard jobs, and he's paying to go to school. He's getting credit beyond his degree and playing football for us, and he's playing really good football for us. So he's so selfless. He's so tough. He's such a great worker. I'm really, really proud to have him on our team.
Thanks, Coach. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too, Rhule.
And get one more in for Coach Rhule, please.
We'll take our next question from Henry Clay with CBS Sports Philadelphia.
Good morning, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, Mr. Clay. How are you?
Doing good. Your defense really came alive again on Saturday. What did you do or what did they do to give us what we saw in the field?
Well, I think the credit needs to be split, between the defensive coaching staff, Phil Snow and his staff, and our players. I think everyone just kind of took a breath, got back to basics, and I thought what you saw on Saturday, I thought you saw a defense that played really fast. We still made some mistakes, but we ran to the ball. We played with a lot of energy. There was no doubt in our minds how we were going to play, and as a result of that, we had a historic defensive performance from those guys.
Thanks, Matt. Happy Thanksgiving and good luck against UConn.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Coach, we thank you so much for your time, not only today,
Thanks,
but throughout the season. All right.